Did you know that everyone's favorite animated series South Park has actually made some astonishing predictions that later came true? It seems like Trey Parker and Matt Stone have something magical hidden in their simple animation tools that lets them predict the future. Join us as we uncover the top 10 South Park predictions that came true. But before we do that, please subscribe to this channel and press the bell icon. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10. Warner Bros. Strategy. In Season 8's episode AWESOM-O, Cartman pulls off one of his classic schemes by disguising himself as a robot and fooling everyone, including a movie studio.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking?
Yeah. Maybe that robot can be programmed to come up with movie ideas.
The studio ends up using AWESOM-O to generate film ideas, thinking it's an advanced AI capable of creative thinking. Little did they know that South Park was tapping into the future of the film industry. Fast forward to 2020, and Warner Bros., one of the biggest players in Hollywood, announced its plans to invest in an AI system to predict the box office potential of movie ideas. The idea of AI influencing business decisions and creative processes became a reality, much like Cartman's antics unwittingly predicted.
Can you come up with an idea for a movie that will break $100 million box office?
Hey, how about this? Adam Sandler is like,
Oh, perfect!
Number 9. Cleveland Indians and Washington Redskins changes. In the South Park episode Chef Goes Nanners, the town is embroiled in a heated debate over its racist flag. Some argue for its preservation, citing historical reasons, while others push for a change, deeming it insensitive.
Who wants to lead the flag should stay the way it is team?
me. Stan, how could you be so insensitive?
All right, Stan and Kyle, you can both be the team leaders for the flag should stay the way it is.
Fast forward to the 2020s and we see a similar scenario playing out in the real world, but this time it's about sports teams with racially insensitive names and mascots. In a hilarious twist of fate, the Cleveland Indians and Washington Redskins faced public pressure to change their names. Just like in the South Park episode where the flag controversy reaches absurd levels, the real-life debates around the sports teams became quite extreme. Ultimately, the teams relented and the Cleveland Indians became the Cleveland Guardians, and the Washington Redskins rebranded as the Washington Commanders. South Park's satirical take on such serious issues shows how reality sometimes mirrors the show's plotlines. Number 8. Hello Kitty Online. South Park's legendary episode Make Love Not Warcraft is a fan favorite from the show's 10th season. It hilariously portrays the characters getting addicted to the MMORPG World of Warcraft and their quest to defeat a powerful in-game character.
That son of a bitch! Who is that guy? Whoever he is one tough badass.
Amidst the gaming frenzy, Butters casually mentions his preference for another game called Hello Kitty Island Adventure, which was entirely fictional at the time. Lo and behold, just a couple of years later in 2008, a real game called Hello Kitty Online surfaced, much to the amusement of South Park fans. The game not only became a reality, but also referenced the fictional game mentioned in the show with an April Fool's Day announcement during its release year. Number 7. The media targeting Miley Cyrus. In the world of South Park, nothing is off limits, especially when it comes to satirizing celebrity culture and media frenzy. In the episode Britney's New Look from Season 12, the show takes aim at the relentless media attention directed at Britney Spears during her troubled times. Although the South Park version of Britney doesn't make it through the episode, the paparazzi quickly turn their vulture-like focus to another rising star, Miley Cyrus. Flash forward to the real world and what do we see happening a few years later? You guessed it, Miley Cyrus finds herself in the same spotlight as Britney did. The media circus swarms around her every move, sensationalizing her actions and plastering their headlines with her name. It's almost as if South Park had a crystal ball to peek into the future of pop culture. Poor Miley. But hey, at least she's in good company with Britney, right?
Interrupt this debate for an emergency news bulletin. It's Britney Watch, keeping you up to date with all your Britney Spears news. Oh boy, what's she done now?
Number 6. Osama bin Laden's manner of death. South Park is infamous for its irreverent humor, and in the Season 14 episode, It's a Jersey Thing, the show takes a jab at Jersey Shore while weaving in the recurring character of Osama bin Laden. The episode primarily centers around Jersey Shore-like characters invading South Park, turning the town upside down in a hilarious parody. Now, South Park didn't exactly predict Osama bin Laden's death, but it had a running gag where he would continuously get shot in the head but keep coming back, much like Kenny.
Great job, troops! Once again, we have killed our enemies! The world is now safe thanks to you.
Then in 2011, the news broke that Osama bin Laden, the real-life terrorist mastermind, was killed by Navy SEALs with a shot to the head. Call it dark humor or coincidence, but South Park's portrayal of bin Laden's demise as a recurring joke took an unexpectedly close turn to reality. Number 5. South Park, Phone Destroyer. In Season 18, Episode 6, aptly titled Freemium Isn't Free, the creators tackle the addictive world of free-to-play mobile games. You know, those games that lure you in with the promise of being free but end up draining your wallet with sneaky in-app purchases? Well, poor Stan falls victim to one of these mobile menaces, and chaos ensues.
So you have Canada.
Stan, just because I make a good living with my music doesn't mean you can go blow it all on Canada.
I'll pay you back for it, okay?
How?
I don't know. I'll figure it out. Jesus Christ.
Fast forward 3 years, and lo and behold, what do we get? South Park Phone Destroyer is a mobile game that features exactly the elements criticized in that very same episode. It's like life imitating art, but with a hilarious twist. The irony is thick enough to slice with a chainsaw bear. In the episode, Stan's gaming addiction spirals out of control, and his friends have to step in and save him from the clutches of the mobile game.
There is something different about me, you guys. I know the game is stupid, and it actually isn't even fun anymore. This is my fault, Stan. I should have never told you the game was fantastic.
Now, while Phone Destroyer isn't specifically referenced in the episode, it mirrors the dark reality of those freemium games that can get you hooked, like a kidney puncher on steroids. Number 4. Recreational marijuana legalization. In the South Park episode Medicinal Fried Chicken from Season 14, the creators take on the topic of marijuana legalization. The story revolves around Cartman's quest to get his beloved Kentucky Fried Chicken after marijuana is legalized for recreational use.
You ate the skin off of every piece of chicken! Well, I saved you all the chicken part. The skin's the best part. Well, I gotta go home, guys. I'm gonna sit on the toilet and read comic books. See you at the bus stop tomorrow.
With KFC locations turning into pot dispensaries, Cartman finds himself in quite a hilarious dilemma. Now, here's where it gets eerily prescient. In the episode, Colorado is depicted as one of the first states to legalize recreational marijuana. Fast forward a couple of years to 2012, and what do we see happen in real life? Colorado became one of the first states in the USA to actually legalize recreational marijuana. South Park didn't just joke about the munchies, they predicted a significant change in drug policy. Number 3. Chef's Chocolate Salty Balls. In this classic episode, Chef becomes a culinary sensation in South Park with his delicious recipe for chocolate salty balls.
Well, perhaps you'd like to try my low-calorie cookies. Go fudge yourself. On my all-natural, I don't really give a flying fudge.
As a film festival arrives in town, chaos ensues when everyone becomes obsessed with Chef's balls, trying to get their hands on them. Amid the mayhem, Cartman delivers his trademark offensive humor, claiming that independent movies are just about gay cowboys eating pudding. Little did he know that this joke would foreshadow a real-life film released in 2005, Brokeback Mountain. Cut to 2005, and Brokeback Mountain took the world by storm. The critically acclaimed film portrayed the heartfelt love story between two gay cowboys, defying stereotypes and breaking barriers. While there was no actual pudding involved, the coincidence of the film being about gay cowboys made the South Park joke eerily prescient. Number 2. South Park, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut. The South Park movie, Bigger, Longer, and Uncut, delivered everything fans loved about the show on a grander scale. It was bigger, longer, and packed with over-the-top humor and musical numbers.
Well, Philip, I hope you've learned something through this whole experience.
I did, Tance. I learned that you are a boner-biting, dick-fart fuckface.
In the movie, the boys' beloved Canadian duo, Terrence and Philip, have a hit movie that leads to an absurd and hilarious conflict between the United States and Canada. The US government blames the movie for corrupting American youth and even threatens war on Canada. Fast forward to 2014, and life imitates art with the release of The Interview. The movie revolves around two men getting involved in a plot to assassinate North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. The film's controversial premise led to real-life threats and heightened tensions, causing its premiere to be canceled and its release to be limited. Just like in South Park, a provocative movie triggered a major reaction from governments and audiences alike. Number 1. Ricky Martin coming out. In this episode, Stan finds himself at a party with kids he doesn't want to hang out with, while his dad Randy and another father, Gerald, have an interesting experience in a hot tub.
Well, it is a night for experimenting.
It sure is.
Okay, I'll start.
The humor escalates when Randy overhears gossip about someone's sexuality, assuming it's about him. In a twist, it turns out they were talking about Puerto Rican singer Ricky Martin. More than a decade later, in 2010, Ricky Martin made headlines by officially coming out as gay. So, which South Park predictions were more astounding? Tell us in the comments section and subscribe for more content.